Hello, beautiful people. How are you? I am tired, stressed, but I am here for my last live stream. For a little minute because I move in a matter of days, but I wanted to do our regular check-in, chit-chat live with everyone. Drop down in the chat, let me know you're here, what's going on, and we are going to just chit chat for a little bit. We're not going to be here forever because I got to get back to packing. Okay, I have been packing, taking a nap, working my 9 to 5, packing, taking a nap, and rinse and repeat. But I am just here for just a quick chit chat, check in live with you guys. And then I'm going to record my From Episode 6 video, and then I'm getting my black ass back to packing. Literally. Hey, Tony T, thank you so much for being here in the live. Hey, Greta, thank you so much for being here. But let me know what's going on, what you guys want to chat about, what you want to ask me. But I will say, wait, I'll save that. I'll let people trickle into the live. I'll save that. I'll say it once more people trickle in. But I wanted to just have a little chit chat, check in live with you guys. And I know one thing that I want to talk about because I had my KillerCon Halloween episode yesterday. If you missed it, you missed a lot. So check it out on the replay. We had so much fun. We had a great panel. We had new faces on the panel. And we had skits, we had games and segments. It was really a great time. And we had costumes and we all dressed up. Everybody on the panel dressed up. Of course, mine was the flyest. Mine was the best. But I mean, and I actually feel like I feel a little weird not having on black lipstick and black makeup around my eyes since I have been in my cosplay bag recently. And it's so funny because where I'm moving to, I'm actually moving near my aunt who is a professional makeup artist. And I was messaging her today, like, yeah, I might need you to do some kind of like goth horror looks, makeup looks for me sometimes for my channel, since, you know, we're going to be neighbors now, because now I am so obsessed with black lipstick look. Hey, DeMarcus, thank you so much for being here. But I wanted to chit chat and talk with you guys and just check in with all of the subbies. We have a ton of new subs on the channel. So if you're new, this is just I don't know why it's called Go Off with Nikki, you know, but I just put a little nice little razzle dazzle title, but it's basically just our check-in, chit chat, shoot the breeze, talk the shit, loosey goosey live that we do. And blueberry ricotta cheese pancakes. Hey, Nikki, just finished the latest KillerCon. Love the skits. Thank you so much. I'm telling y'all, if y'all missed them skits, y'all missed everything. Like that KillerCon, like I'm so proud of that episode. It was so good. I thought it was so great. But I like sticking with my 4-person panel. Like it be too many. I don't do well when it's like a big panel. I prefer 4 people. And I thought I did well because typically I accidentally skip people. And there were segments where I intentionally skipped people because depending on the segment, it would have been very redundant to ask every single solitary person to like all the same stuff. But I did not realize until Tyra told me. She was like, yeah, you skipped me and a few other people for our favorite kills. And I was so enraged with myself. Like, that's why I like having just a 4-person panel. So it's just like, easy because my mind isn't good. But one thing I wanted to talk about, and y'all let me know in the chat what you want to talk about, ask me, etc., etc. But I wanted to talk about, okay, so after we did the KillerCon live yesterday, I was backstage with the ladies, Kay and Tyra, talking about my thoughts about KillerCon, the future of KillerCon, and Tyra was like, hit the live, hit the live, go live while we talking about this. And I was like, all right. But I am 100% disgruntled with KillerCon, but I don't like how in retrospect, I feel like I came off as if I'm disgruntled with the channel in general, which I am not. Like, I'm actually not. I am so like in a great place when it comes to my channel right now, when it comes to my content right now. My channel actually has done the best, like, in forever. The 3 years I've been on YouTube, and like the last 28 days. Like the last 28 days, first of all, I'm very happy with my content. I think my content is improving. Like it was always just great, but like now it's greater. But like the last 28 days on my channel, like the metrics and the analytics are like really amazing. Like it's all, if anybody doesn't know, like behind the scenes YouTube stuff, you have your analytics that show you like how your channel is doing numbers wise. And one thing with me, I don't like clock my sub count, but I absolutely clock my analytics because it lets you know how people are engaging with your content, how people are coming in, finding your content, how they're feeling about it. And there's something called audience retention, which tells you out of your video, are people watching 10% of the video? Are they watching 25%? And it like tells you literally everything you would want to know about your content and your audience. And everything is going amazingly. My audience retention is high. Like my CTR, which is your click-through rate, which means if YouTube shows your thumbnail to 100 people, how many people click on the video, how many people stay on the video, like everything is going swimmingly. And like the last 28 days, I've gotten like 100 and some odd new subscribers, which is really high for my channel. Typically, I get like 30 new subs every 2 months or something. So having over 100 new subs in just the last 28 days, and my personal goal for my channel when it comes to my view count with like 1,500 subs, my goal is always to get at least 100 views on a video. And 97% of the time recently, I have been surpassing that goal or hitting that goal. Like everything has been going really well for my channel. The only content recently that bombed, which bombed to me means less than 100 views, was I did a video on the new romance movie It Ends With Us, but honestly I expect that to not really do well. That's nowhere near the content I do, but I saw the movie and I had a lot of thoughts about it and I wanted to talk about it, so I did a video, but the video did terribly, which I would expect. And then I have followed the Walking Dead spinoff series before. I did Dead City, I did The Ones Who Live, and I did Daryl Dixon season 1. I recently went to do Daryl Dixon season 2. The video's bomb. But outside of that, that's like the 3% content on my channel that hasn't done well. Everything else has been going amazingly. Like I'm so happy with my channel. I've been seeing a lot of new people on the channel, like commenting, engaging, new channel members, like everything has been swimmingly. So like, and I've been in like such a great mood regarding my content and my channel. So I just was kind of annoyed in like retrospect thinking about it. Like, okay, I think I was coming off like I was disgruntled with my channel success and engagement and numbers in general, which I'm not. Only with KillerCon. Not with my actual, channel. But I did have someone yesterday make a suggestion that, why don't you like let the subs hop in on the live? And I'm like, I've tried that a ton of times and nobody ever engages. So I'm gonna ask y'all today, do y'all want me to drop the link and y'all can hop on the live and say whatever the hell you're gonna say and don't say nothing crazy? Because I've tried it before and somebody asked me yesterday, why don't I try it? So, and I've literally tried it like 4 or 5 times and nobody ever engages. So I'm gonna try it again tonight and I'm gonna ask y'all. So let me know in the chat if that's something y'all want me to do. Okay. We're gonna see how I go. But let me see. Hi, at your joy. Thank you so much for being here in the live. DeMarcus Vaughn, Nikki, what are your thoughts about the movie Little Shop of Horrors? Not my cup of tea, DeMarcus Vaughn. Yeah, that's not really up my alley, but honestly, I have not watched it since I was a kid, and I really barely remember it. The only thing I remember is I didn't really like the movie. That's really all that I can remember. Yes, Miriam, we all the way up. Everything is up. Everything is up. That's why I'm like, I had to come back and like check in because I'm like, no, I don't like how that came across. Like, I'm annoyed with Killer Khan, but like the channel and the channel content overall, everything is up. Like, so many new subscribers. The content has been doing really well. Engagement has been really well. Like, everything. I have been in such a great space recently when it comes to my channel and my content and engagement. Like, it's all been really good. So I'm like, you know what? Let me spotlight that and spotlight all the new subs that have come to the channel. So yes. Thank you, Miriam. Tony T, love the horror panels. Your outfits are the best. Thank you, Tony T. Thank you so much. I had so much fun during the live. The guests were amazing. Yeah, I think that panel was great. I thought that Killer Con was really, really good. And I feel like I came up with some pretty good little. I think my favorite segment was the Who's the Villain segment. I thought that was like really creative how I was trying to like describe the villain. And I loved when they got stuck and like on certain villains and didn't know who I was talking about, especially the Deep Blue Sea Shark. Because when I turned to Kay, like, Kay, who is it? I was like, I know Kay gonna get it. Because that's what she always talks about. Hey, Joseph Felton, thank you so much for being here in the live. We are just checking in, chit-chatting, shooting the breeze. So let me know like what y'all want to talk about, what's going on. At your joy, as a viewer, honestly, I wouldn't like it. People wow sometimes and change the vibes. And I like how you and the panels keep it professional and cute. I personally wouldn't want to see randoms for real. Okay, see, my thought was, because I've tried this out. I have tried out what you would call like a call-in segment or call-in show as a way to like let the audience say like their opinions on something or ask me something, which obviously you can do in the chat, but you know, like just a more like personal way of like connecting and engaging with the audience. However, niggas is crazy. Like people are crazy. And the way I tried to implement it before was you either had to be a channel member in order to be able to get the link and come on the live and engage, or you had to send a super chat, because my thinking was people would be less likely to be one of the crazies and they would be more likely to actually be a supporter that just genuinely wants to interact or wants to talk about a movie or TV show if they're a channel member, or if they have to like, you know, pay like a certain amount. Like, I just feel like you're not gonna waste your money to like be stupid. That was my like way of thinking, but I can see how, I don't know, maybe because as like a viewer, there's somebody that I love whose merch I'm actually wearing, that I watch on YouTube. Like, I'm freaking obsessed. And she does like, she'll have like a whole live dedicated to the audience, like hopping up on the live and engaging with her. And I find it really, really fun. But the type of content she does is different. Like, everybody is like, they're smart and they like have really engaging things to say. I'm just talking movies, okay? I'm not a Harvard graduate. And like I said yesterday, somebody sent Tyra, one of her subs sent Tyra like an unsolicited picture of his little slong. Like, I don't want no crazies. And I have had people put like racist comments on my videos. Like, I don't want the crazies, but I figured I would just throw it out there today, since someone said yesterday that they wanted me to let y'all like hop on the link and hop on the live and engage. So I was like, okay, I've tried it about 4 times and I just gave up and figured y'all just weren't into it. But since somebody suggested it yesterday, I'm gonna throw it out there today that if y'all want me to, drop the link and y'all hop on. Now, if you show your ass, you're gonna get blocked. Like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna kick you off the live and I'm gonna block your ass. Like, it's just really gonna be that simple. It's really gonna be that simple. Oh, Miriam, you slipping on your pimping. You slipping on your pimping, Miriam, because my first From Live I did, I don't know what I didn't know what was happening until I went backstage and asked the ladies. But it was somebody trolling and going crazy in my comments. And y'all know I cannot keep up with like a live like this, I can keep up with the comments. But a live where there's a panel and I'm having conversation, I really can't clock the comments. So I just would randomly see that they were, and I'm like, where the moderators? Where the moderators? And that's what they said to me backstage. They was like, well, your moderators should have kicked him out or muted him. You were slipping, Miriam. I don't know where you was that day. But I be kind of slipping because I haven't really made any like moderators. Like I think I got like 3 moderators. Miriam, my mama, and like somebody else. But it's a no for me personally. I'm too shy to jump on live with you. Plus, I'm a baby horror fan, so I leave commentary to the professionals. Oh, well, I'm not a professional. I'm just a horror fan. My favorite segments were Guess the Distorted Scene and Guess the Villain. The riddle was so funny. Okay, yeah, I love both of those. I could not believe some of the distorted scenes that they couldn't get. But I don't know if it's just I had the cheat code because obviously I knew the image. And you know how maybe if you already know what it is, your eyes just kind of see it better. But I was like, y'all really don't know what this is? Miriam, she was engaging with the person. And I was like, Mom, don't talk to them people. Like, just kick them out. Like, I was like, Mom. But my mom is real nice. You probably can't tell because of me, because I'm going to be an asshole. But my mother is like super, 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 super. I be calling her Mother Teresa. Like, she going to try and like engage. And I'm like, no, Mama, like, why was you even responding to them? I don't know. Joseph, you'd be surprised. People pay crazy prices for concert tickets only for them to start throwing things towards the front. Oh, Lord. Well, I was just trying to, because I figure at least me, like, I'm not going to waste my money to, you know, like, unless I really, like the person engaged with. I figure you're not finna, like, waste your money. In this economy, like, you're going to waste your money to do foolishness? Child, I don't understand it. Yes, thank you, Equalizer. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, consider becoming a channel member. Thank you, Equalizer. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. What else do we have going on? Oh, something my old ass just discovered. Have y'all ever heard of something called a Discord? I ain't never heard of that in my life, but my new friend Julie B Deep Dives, who I've done some From Lives with, was talking to me about Discord. And it's so funny and serendipitous because Tyra was like, they was looking at Discord. I'm like, I have literally never heard of Discord in my life, but now all of a sudden everybody is on there. So I really don't know what the hell it is. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's supposed to be used for. I don't even know what the hell you're supposed to do. I created a Discord today, but I gotta like read the manual and figure out what exactly I'm supposed to do and what it's for. But are y'all on Discord? Do y'all know anything about it? Like, would y'all be here for... I can't even say what Discord content. Like, I don't even know what it is. Like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Like, Julie said something about posting a video, and I'm like, you post videos on that? Y'all, I'm 40. I don't know about these things. I'm not familiar. But are y'all familiar with Discord? I don't know what the hell. I can barely keep up with YouTube. I'm beyond. Like, when it comes to like social media and stuff, I can barely keep up with the stuff that I'm supposed to be keeping up with. I try my best to keep up with Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. But honestly, the only thing I do on all 3 of those platforms is just post about my channel. Like, that's really all I do. Because I'm not well versed. I'm not a social media girly. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. I've been on Discord and I would go back if you were on there. Okay, so let me know if y'all will be interested in Discord. Like, once I read the manual and figure out what the hell it actually is, and when I like, it said something about, oh God, what was the word it used? It said oh God, what was the word? Create a server. It said, and I was like, what the fuck is a server? Y'all, I don't even know what it is. I don't, but I created one, and then it said create a server, and I didn't know what the hell that meant, so I just like left, and I was like, Julie, what is this? Like, what am I supposed to do? really don't know what it is. I've never heard of Discord. Like, is that, I don't know. I guess it's like social media. Y'all, I don't know. Don't let me lie, because I don't have a clue. Yeah, I gotta read the manual. Like, literally, I literally have the tab up on my computer now from earlier. It says Beginner's Guide to Discord. Yeah. Beginner's Guide to Discord is what I'm gonna have to read, because I am clueless 100%. I watched the playback chit chat vid yesterday and liked it, but please make the KillerCon a top tier member. But please don't make the KillerCon a top tier member video. I stay watching all of them, but I can't do top tier in this recession for real. Well, at your joy, that's like and see, that's the thing. Tara was like, go live while we were pretty much, and she wanted me to go live so that the audience could chime in, because we were pretty much just trying to think of ideas, how to move forward with KillerCon, what would work best. And right now, it's not, KillerCon will not become members only, like, no time soon. Like, no time soon. We're still trying to grow KillerCon, and it obviously won't grow if it's behind paywall. If it's behind paywall, then it would obviously just be for the people that are already here supporting, and we want it to grow. But it was just a thought of us, like, bouncing ideas, like chit chat lives and conversations like that are us bouncing ideas. But I appreciate you chiming in, being like, no, don't make it members only. But yes, we were just like bouncing ideas and trying to figure out what we're going to do moving forward. But speaking of KillerCon, so let me pull it up so I don't say the wrong dates and stuff. I could have sworn I think it's on my computer. Or is it not? Lord Jesus, where did I put it? I put it somewhere. Where did I put it? Okay, I hope I'm not finna say the wrong dates, because y'all know my mind bad. I could have sworn I put it somewhere, but I guess I didn't. But okay, moving forward, what we are doing with KillerCon, or what I am doing with KillerCon, is I don't think, because I have to just go off of what I think, because the audience didn't really chime in much. But in my opinion, I think we do have a really good audience for KillerCon. However, I don't think the audience wants it to be weekly. I don't think it should be every week. So moving forward, KillerCon will continue, but it just will not be every single week. We are going to try doing KillerCon bi-weekly, and it will no longer be on Saturdays. I feel like Saturdays are not a good day, or not the best day for engagement for a live, because I feel like Saturdays, like, people are not just, like, this is me, just my thoughts. I just feel like Saturday is a day that people are, like, actively doing things and not necessarily watching and engaging with the live on YouTube. I just don't think Saturdays are the best day for engagement. So moving forward, KillerCon will not be weekly. I don't think the audience wants it weekly. I think that people will get burnt out on it, like, coming every single solitary week. Like, they'll be over it quicker. So it will be bi-weekly, starting, oh God, what was that date? Oh, Jesus. Y'all know I ain't got a good brain. November 13th, my little brother's birthday. November 13th will start. That is a Wednesday. Starting November 13th, KillerCon will be bi-weekly Wednesdays, Wednesday nights. Okay. And I am going to be changing up the format and everything for KillerCon. So right now, the format for KillerCon, so let me elaborate so y'all know what I'm talking about. Right now, when I say format, the format for KillerCon is Kay and Tyra are my, because it's a panel. So Kay and Tyra are my permanent resident two, like, members of the panel who will always be there, obviously, unless something happens and they can't make it. Like, I think we had one episode when Kay wasn't there because she had a graduation. But that's like the panel. And then I always invite a fourth guest Now, moving forward, the way we normally do it, or the way I normally do it, is I try to have a guest every single solitary killer con. That's just not sustainable. I can't keep begging people on the regular to come be over here on my little channel. Like, I don't literally beg. I feel like I have to start explaining like my sense of humor, like I'm being funny. But like it's just not sustainable. Like it's not like we're in a church club and I just know YouTubers because I don't. I literally just reach out to people like, hey, I have a horror panel. Would you like to come on and talk horror? And it's exhausting on top of all the other things with KillerCon. So I'm not going to put stress on myself to have a guest every single solitary KillerCon. It more than likely will be like once a month or two, I'll have a guest. So the bulk of KillerCon will just be me, Tyra K. I hope the audience is okay with that. It would just be me, Tyra K, most of the time. And then sometimes I'll bring in a fourth guest that talks horror because I like bringing in a person. First of all, I like, switching it up, adding somebody to the dynamic. I like introducing you guys to a new content creator that talks horror and just networking and just like supporting other content creators in horror. So I will still do that. It just won't be every single solitary episode. And then also when I say format, the format for KillerCon is typically I have like a whole show mapped out. Okay. So I have questions, topics that we discuss, and then I have games segments where it's like guess the bad movie review, guess like who's the villain, etc., etc. We're not going to do that every single solitary KillerCon. It's not going to be a structured format every single time. I just feel like, in my opinion, I think the audience gets burnt out on like, I don't want it to be structured every single time. I don't want it to be the games every single time because for one, my brain is bleeding. Like having to come up with like games all the time. Like all the games we did yesterday were brand new. They weren't games that we usually play on. I mean, we usually always do verses, but I made it like we always do like the verses. We always do like the horror trivia. We didn't do any of the stuff we normally do yesterday. Like I thought of all new stuff with the what's this scene and who's the villain and the would you rather horror edition and if this horror person was throwing a Halloween party, blah blah blah. My brain is leaking. Like I can't do that every single episode. And I feel like if we keep doing like the same games, the audience will get burnt out. So it's not going to be structured every single time. So if it's not structured, what the format will look like, there will be no slides and it will just be me, Tyrone K, having a horror conversation. And it'll be structured in a way because we'll know what we're coming here to talk about. But I just mean it won't be like set this question, that question, this topic, this game, because that's how we format it now. The whole episode is structured. So that's how it's going to be moving forward. So hopefully y'all will like it and we'll still be here for it, but just changing things up to try to, get it to grow, get more people engaged, make it still fun, enjoyable for the audience. Oh, did y'all pay attention to my spooky season background? I love my little spooky season background. Hey, Books, Girls, and Purrs, thank you so much for being here in the live. At your joy, y'all my favorites anyway. Okay, because I was like, I don't know how the audience would feel if there's not a guest and it's just me, Tyrone K, but the bulk of KillerCon moving forward is going to just be me, Tyrone K. Like right now, I have a guest booked for December because when I was doing KillerCon weekly, when I would reach out to somebody to be a part of KillerCon, I wouldn't give them a date. I would let them give me a date. So I would say, hey, are you interested? If they were interested, then I would say, okay, we do a show every Saturday. You let me know what Saturdays you're available, and I'll put you down. So this person in particular, she's down for December. I don't have anybody else booked until then. And I'm honestly not finna break my neck trying to find somebody. I would like for Lady Sasha to come back. I really enjoyed her. She was on KillerCon for the first time yesterday, but I haven't reached out for her to come back. But outside of that, I'm like, I would like for Cody Leach to come back. I feel like okay. This is gonna be the critical nitpicky me. If y'all were there, because it's behind paywall now, I randomly out the blue joined Ashley for her live. Ashley does a every Saturday morning like check-in with her subs, and I hopped on, and somehow the conversation turned into us talking about people going to therapy. And I said how I can be extremely critical, like the way I talk to myself. And so this is going to be like that. So let's not go crazy when I say this. But in my opinion, I am literally like, I want to say a nice word. I'm just going to say a nice word. I ain't going to say the word I want to say. I don't like my KillerCon, the early episodes. I think they were a fucking mess. Like, I do. I think they were a mess. I think those first, like, I think Cody Leach was on my second ever KillerCon episode. Those first, like, 3 KillerCons were a fucking mess. I had way too many people on the panel, especially, like, the very first KillerCon. It was just, it was a mess. I was just starting. I really hadn't gotten into, like, the groove and flow of things, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And then I'm gonna be honest, some of the panelists have pissed me off because, okay, so the episode when Cody Leach came, Tyra was supposed to be there, but at the last minute, I had to find a replacement because if y'all remember, around that time, Tyra is in Texas. There was a really bad storm and she did not have electricity. So I had to find somebody else. And then I had another guest booked along with Cody Leach because I didn't want him to be the only white person on the panel. And that person dropped out because they wanted to spend time with their boyfriend. So at the last minute, I had to try to get people in. And I think that was Kay's first time on the panel. But I was annoyed because I did ask a few repeat questions because I wanted to, like, that's just how it ended up happening. But I did not say to the panelists that had been there, hey, give me a new, fresh response to this, because I just thought it was just natural that you would not repeat something or say, well, we talked about this last time. I just assumed that you would just give a fresh, take. I was so annoyed when I would ask the question and people would start their answer with, well, we talked about this last time, or, well, last time I said, like, that was grinding my gears. And again, like, no disrespect to them. This is just my critical nitpicky self. And really I was annoyed with myself because I was like, I should have, because when we're backstage, I say things to the panelists, like, along the lines of before we get live. And I was like, I was kicking myself. I should have said to them, hey, you're going to see repeat questions, but please just give me a fresh take. Like, I just don't like how things went when Cody Leach was on. Like, I feel like now KillerCon has gotten into a groove. It's a lot better. So I would like for him to come back. But after that mess, I don't know if he would ever even respond to me again. Okay, again, just my sense of humor. But yeah, so I only have one person booked so far. I'm not finna clamor to find anybody no time soon. And so besides that person that's booked, which I'm really excited to work with this person, outside of her, I just would really like to have Cody Leach back. Outside of that, I don't know who a next guest would be. Oh, I said I would like Lady Sasha to come back. But outside of that, I'm just not, Your background is cute. I'm up for a format change. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, see, I would like a positive response to the changes and stuff of KillerCon. I just feel like, That's YouTube. You just see what works. You try things out, you see what works. You try something, it doesn't work, so you try something else, and you just try stuff until it works. Sorry, Ashley, My Sweet Perspective. She has a YouTube channel. She does a lot of content with Tyra K, and I was on a few panels with her, so we have engaged with each other a lot. Sorry, yeah. My Sweet Perspective. She does her weekly check-ins on Saturday mornings, and she literally always is going live as I'm walking the dog. So as I'm walking the dog, I always tune in to her check-in lives. So yes. Nickey strategically chose a fourth guest panelist. The fourth would be designed to bring your channel more exposure. Honestly, my first thought when I invite somebody on KillerCon is, do I like what they have to say? Will they add something to the conversation? That's number one. Number two is, when I invite somebody and I'm engaging with them, typically what I do is I send them something. I call it my what do I call it? It's escaping me right now. What do I call it? Because I have like a whole spiel that I send everybody before KillerCon. 10 player commandments. That's what I call it. And it's just stuff like, please be sure to be prompt. Please make sure you're respectful of the other panelists. Because, I don't want people talking over people. I don't want people cutting people off, et cetera, et cetera. Like, it's a whole thing I send. And when I send them the link for the live, I always say, like, I give them the option. You can multi-stream to your audience to help boost KillerCon, cross-contaminate audience. So, me and the other panelists get exposure to your audience. You get exposure to me and the other panelists' audience, because that's helpful for everyone. But I do not require it. And another player commandment is for you to promote the KillerCon that you're going to be on. But I don't pick people based on their like channel size or audience size or anything like that. Like, that would be the strategic, smart thing to do. That's how most YouTubers are. Like, most YouTubers are not checking for you if you don't have X amount of subs. Like, if your channel isn't a certain size, they're not checking for you. Like, period. They're not checking for me. Let's put it like that. 1,500 subs. They're not checking. I won't say who it was because I'm not messy. I'm an asshole, but I'm not messy. There was a YouTuber who has a huge audience, and like 100,000 subs. And I reached out to them about KillerCon. And when I reach out to people, I say what KillerCon is, et cetera, et cetera. They responded, which I was shocked. Like, I'm the type of person, I'd be like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I'm just going to ask everybody. I'm like, Beyonce, will you come sing at my birthday party? Because what's the worst you going to do? Ignore me? Okay. Like, I'm going to just reach out to people. Never thought this person would respond to my email, but they did. And they were like really excited. They gave me the day. I put them down on the calendar. Never heard from them again. Literally. And I did a follow-up email like, hey, never heard from them. And I obviously don't know why. They were super down, booked the day, and then just never heard anything. But I speculate that when they saw the email and I told them about KillerCon, they probably did think it was a great idea and wanted to be a part of it. But then I speculate they actually went to my channel and said, no, that bitch got, at the time, 1,100 subscribers. Oh, hell no. I'm not going to go over there when I got 100,000 subscribers. That's what I speculate. But yes, critical thinker. That's the strategic. That's how most YouTubers operate. I just operate on who do I like what they have to say? who are we going to have? Who is going to have something good to add? That's really all I care about, because I just want to put on a good show. Like, period. Like, I can't stand having a guest and I feel like they didn't add nothing. I feel like they were drab. I feel like they really didn't have anything to say. Like, I hate that. Like, I want people who are going to add something and be engaging. Hey, I mean, I'm just speculating, but because how are you excited about something when you hear about it and then just go ghost? So that's just my speculation, because I know how YouTubers are. Like, I know how they operate. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I couldn't believe Cody Leach. And even when he agreed, I remember being like, "Well, I don't know if he really gonna show up." Just like this person, because that's another thing. Just because somebody say, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, of course I will," it don't mean they're really gonna do it. But that's how a lot of YouTubers operate. Which, hey, more power to you. Like, I'm. That's you. That's your thing. Do your thing. I'm not. That's why I'm not even gonna say this person's name, because that's just messy. Like, operate how you want. I get it. I get it. You don't. My rationale is, if I have 100,000 subs and somebody invites me on their platform and they have 1,200 subs, I would still operate the same. Do I like if I'm the person being invited and I'm like, oh, I like this horror panel idea, and if I check out a few episodes, oh yeah, I want to be a part of this. I wouldn't care that I have 100,000 subs and they have 1,200, because guess what? Their 1,200 could be a new 1,200 eyes to see me and add to my 100,000. Like, what? Even if it's 500 people, well, that's 500 new people who would put eyes on me. But that's that's how people think. That's let's see. Oh, I already read that one. Let's see what's going on. Okay, what's going on, y'all? What are we chatting about next? Do we have any more things to ask me about KillerCon? Let me see. It's like the let's have, yes, good example, Miriam. Like, yeah, let's have lunch. Yeah, call my people. Yeah, shoot me that email. It's literally exactly like that. Like, literally. I always operate where if I invite somebody on the channel and they have around my same amount of subs or less, I'm more likely to take them at their word. But honestly, people who have like a bigger platform who I invite, I'd be like, child, I don't even really know if they're gonna show up. Like, as long as you at least have the courtesy to like cancel, because I had somebody cancel that was the big channel, and I felt like it was a lie. Like I said, I feel like people don't necessarily. I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole. I don't even want to go down this rabbit hole. But yes, Miriam. Yes, it's the let's have lunch, knowing you're not ever going to do it. It reminds me, I actually was just watching Cube while I was packing earlier. And if y'all saw Cube, there's a moment where they don't want to bring the mentally challenged guy because they think he's going to like be a liability. And the one person is standing up for him. And then the girl is like, oh, we'll come back for him. And she's like, now that's a lie. That's a lie from the pits of hell, as you say it. Like, yeah, it's that thing. Oh my gosh. Take us to a convention or some other meetup event. Take who? Who going to a convention? What's happening in the chat? Let's see. Boots, Girls, and Purrs. Yes, Elliot, very kind. I see him on panels and he really loves horror. Are we in the chat talking about Elliot? Movie files. I just met Elliot for the first time. If you guys did not check out the Slashers and Villains Live, Tyrone hosted a Slashers and Villains Live, which is where I met Lady Sasha. And we all chatted backstage. I was so annoyed. Oh my God, let me tell y'all. So Tyra did a live, Struggle Reviews TV did a live. You can find it in my live tab because I multi-streamed on my channel. But she hosted a live horror panel for Halloween called Slashers and Villains. And it was so fun. And I was like, man, I got to step my game up for KillerCon because I thought she had some great little segments for the Slashers and Villains. That was my first time meeting Elliot. That was my first time meeting Lady Sasha. And that live, I was in such a fucking bad mood during that live. And it was because my software was being weird and I could not hear what anyone was saying. I had to literally play the live from my cell phone in order to hear them. And it was obviously like a delay. And if I wanted to talk, like if I was listening to it on my phone, I had to be muted. Then when it was my turn to talk, I would have to unmute, but I couldn't like hear anyone else. It was so freaking frustrating. Oh my God. It was so frustrating. So then I was so happy the live ended because I just felt like I couldn't really, because I couldn't hear anyone. I had to listen from my cell phone. So then we got backstage and we were all backstage talking for like, I don't know, a long ass time, an hour and a half or something. Again, I couldn't hear anyone. Like I was so pissed off. Like this is my first time meeting Elliot and Lady Sasha and I can't even engage. And I did not even know until afterwards. So we were all backstage talking. I think Elliot started the conversation like, hey, what horror movies have y'all seen recently? And then everybody started chatting. And I was just sitting there like a duck because I couldn't really understand nobody. I didn't know what nobody was saying. It was pissing me off. Like, these people are going to think I'm, I don't know, staying offish or I don't know. I couldn't really talk. So once we all exited, Tyra ended up sending me a message like, hey, let's video chat. I did not know that while we were backstage, Tyra said, hey, Nikki, tell Elliot and Lady Sasha about KillerCon. Like, I didn't even know what the hell. So I heard, like, and then I was like, what you say? Because I heard her say Nikki. And then I couldn't really make out what she was saying. So I just was like, damn, what did I say? I said something about, I can't remember what I said, but my response to her saying, tell Elliot and Lady Sasha about KillerCon came off like I was just like dismissing. Like, I don't want to say nothing to them. Like, that's how it came off because I couldn't hear her. So I just said something that like, it's like if somebody's speaking to you and you don't really understand. So you just like nod and smile and say yes. I was so annoyed. Oh my God. I don't know how we started. I don't know what happened in the chat. I don't know how we started talking about Elliot. But yeah, that I was in such a bad mood in that live. And then after a bit, and I like exited out, came back. Something was just really weird. Like I was so mad. Now I did later because I just felt like I felt like I came off a certain way, but it was because I couldn't hear. So I did like send both of them like a DM, like, hey, it was nice to meet you, etc., because I was just so annoyed. Fucking technology, man. Yes, it was so, like, I'm talking about frustrating to the max. Like, we were literally backstage just shooting the breeze talking about horror for a long ass time. And I was just like, I sure wish I could join in on the conversation. Like, oh, it was pissing me off. Like, yes, Vanessa, you are there. Yes. The Slashers and Villains live. Oh, so annoying. Oh my God, that frustrated me. But let's see. We have been here for 50 minutes, so I'm gonna give this 10 more minutes because I gotta record my from video and get back the damn packet. So anything else that we want to chat about? I'd be so aggravated. I would have deleted. Man, when I tell you, that's my personality. I have the type of personality. Like, I will jump off the cliff with stuff. Like, I will be like, that would be me. Like, the person that's so aggravated, I just be like, F all of this. Like, I'm literally that person. I'd be like, man, F all this. It gets me into trouble. But I am literally like that person. Like, I will get really melodramatic. Like, it's crazy. I'm not going to tell y'all, okay, this is going to sound so stupid and so ridiculous. I literally throw dishes away all the time because if it's a dish that can't just be like washed in the dishwasher or like I soak it, I spray that Dawn stuff. Like, it just won't get clean. Like, I get frustrated and I be like, F this, and I just throw it in the trash. Like, I just throw it in the trash. And that sounds so stupid and it's so ridiculous and it's so wasteful. But that's an example of how I just go to extremes. Like, I will really go to extremes in so many cases in life. If you are on my channel, like a year ago, I had locks, I had long hair. And then if you joined my channel earlier this year, my whole head was shaved. I literally will get frustrated and be like, F it. I will never forget my hair tangling up and it was like a knot and I couldn't get it. And I said, F it. And I just cut it. Because that is literally something I don't do well with frustration. Like I don't. I can handle any, like, frustration is like a roadblock. And whatever is frustrating me, my knee-jerk reaction is to just like dump the body. Like whatever is the frustration, I just want to throw it out. Like I just want to throw it out. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. Like it's so terrible. But that's very much like if it's a person, I don't even like bye. Like I don't even want to literally, like, I don't know. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yes, it's crazy. Like that sounds so freaking stupid. But literally, if I just don't like the place I'm in now, like I can't wait to move because where I'm moving to is new construction, so it's all new appliances. Where I live at now, that dishwasher is, I'm like, this is so fucking old. Like they came to replace it. And I'm like, did y'all pull this out of somebody else's apartment? Like, what is this? It does not wash dishes like it's supposed to do. When I was in my townhouse, I could throw all kind of stuff in that dishwasher and it would come out spotless. Here, it's like I have to wash the dishes, then put them in. If I gotta wash the dishes, what the fuck is the point of the dish? Like, it just frustrates me. And then that's something else I'm not good. I'm not good with like task. Like I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know. My brain is off. Like I'm not good with tasks already. So if something ends up being frustrating, I just will throw it away. I do that a lot. I throw my stuff away all the time. If I'm trying to, because I'm not good with tasks, I'm not good with like trying to like organize or clean up. So my version of cleaning up is I just throw stuff away. Like I'm gonna be honest, I just throw stuff away, and it's so ridiculous and it's so stupid, and I always end up needing whatever I threw away. But I have a hard time, like, and that's why I don't like to have a lot of stuff, because you know you have to find a place for stuff. When you're cleaning up, you have to put stuff up. If I can't just, this goes here, I'm going to chuck it. I'm going to throw it away. I don't know what that is. I don't know. My mama dropped me on my brain. I don't know what it is. I'm not good with tasks. And then if I get frustrated, I just throw it away. Like, I just want whatever is frustrating me to just not exist. Like, I don't know. It's psychotic. It's psychotic. I don't know what it is. I don't. Maybe Kay is the professional. Maybe she could tell me. Nikki, you are me. It takes one thing to piss me off and I'm ready to go home right after. Yeah, I'm just, yeah. I'm not good. I cannot wait to see Heretic. When does that come out? I'm and I'm excited to see if anything for the rest of the year will top Oddity for me, because Oddity is my #1 favorite movie so far. And I'm very curious to see if anything can top it. But yes, I am super excited. When does it come out for Heretic? November 8th. So next weekend. Yeah, I am super, super excited for Heretic. Yeah. R2B Chick. Y'all be making me feel like I can't read. Thank you for being here in the chat. When are you reviewing Tell Me Lies? So that should be here next week. I am going to do a season 2 wrap up. The way that I did the Tell Me Lies season 1 wrap up, I'm going to just do season 2 all together. And that should be next week. And I'm so sorry if anybody has been waiting for Tell Me Lies, because I was following every episode, but the videos were declining. Like the Tell Me Lies video started off really well, and then the views were going down. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do a wrap up because it doesn't seem like it's a ton of people really pulling up for each individual for the Tell Me Lies. But I'm so sorry if you have been waiting for it. That will be up next week. Depending on how tired I am from moving this week, maybe Sunday, but don't hold me on Sunday. You can hold me on next week. You can hold me on next week. And that's something else. I said I really want to stop being so flaky because I think Darfalina wanted to curse me out yesterday. Like, I'm so flaky and I know it, and I know that's probably so annoying and probably so frustrating, but I'll have that up next week. I'll have that up next week. Are you doing a From Live this week or jumping on a panel? Okay, so I cannot host a From Live this week because, baby, I got to pack and I got to move. But I will be a guest with Julie B Deep Dives from Thursday night. It's going to be late Thursday night, and of course I will be streaming to my channel. So you should see that up for upcoming live sometime soon. But yes, I will be going live with Julie B Deep Dives to talk about the recent From episode. And my solo From video will be up tomorrow. I watched From earlier today, and I am going to record my From video as soon as I finish this live, and then get my black ass back to packing. Managing one's own expectation of self can be quite the challenge. Your videos are super organized. You know, honestly, finally somebody thank you, honestly. Thank you. See, but you know, that I feel like I be getting a lot of flack because like Tyra and the ladies have like a whole calendar and set schedule where they go live and they do their content at a set time on a set day. I don't do the set time and I don't do the set day. But you gonna get content every week. But thank you, honestly, thank you. That finally somebody that ain't, you know, they just be piling dirt on me, okay? Vanessa Wicked gifted another channel membership. Let me see. It doesn't tell me in the StreamYard who she gifted it to, so let's see. Was it Josh G? And yesterday looks like it was Nick Duncan. Shout out to Vanessa Wicked. Have you seen Mads yet? French horror on Shudder. Okay, so I actually have something. I have not seen Mads yet, but I'm going to see it, and I have something coming for y'all in regards to Mads. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that. Did you ever see Never Let Go with Halle Berry? No, I have not seen Never Let Go yet. I watched Smile 2 and Terrifier 3, and then I went to like rewatch stuff. So I didn't get to Never Let Go. Who is a horror villain you would be friends with? Somebody that's not supernatural, somebody that's not just a killing machine. I'm gonna need somebody with a motive where like they wouldn't kill me. Let me try and think. Who is a horror villain I would be friends with? Who is somebody that wouldn't kill me? I would be friends with Rose the Hat because I'm not a kid. I don't have no shining, so I wouldn't really be a victim. I love Rose the Hat. Is Tell Me Lies horror? No, Darfalina, Tell Me Lies is not horror at all. Tell Me Lies is that 3% of my content that I do that is not horror. Tell Me Lies, and Tell Me Lies tricked me, okay? I saw Tell Me Lies last year. I didn't do content on it. But I saw Tell Me Lies not last year, because it was on like a 2-year hiatus. I didn't know they was coming back with a season 2. It was my year before that. Whatever. I thought Tell Me Lies was like a murder thriller mystery show. They conned me and I got sucked in. Tell Me Lies is like a melodrama, romance, college student, messy ass show. Like, it's good as hell. Like, they sucked me in. But no, it is not horror at all. It's an amazing show though. Like, it's so freaking good. Like, I was so annoyed when I remember, I will never forget going to watch it. Like, okay, who like, when the body gonna drop? When, I thought this was a murder. Y'all, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking or why I thought, like, yeah, but it's really good. But it's like it's melodrama, college, toxic relationships, like basically it centers on the main girl like having good sex for the first time in her life and going batshit crazy over the guy, and he's like a complete psychopath. It's so good. It's so good. It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu. Tell Me Lies is an underrated psychodrama on Hulu. Great way to put it. It's really good. If you want to catch up, I do have my season 1 wrap up. Let me see. All you can do is what's best for you. I don't mind if you don't have a set schedule. You put plenty of content. Thank you. But see, because you know what? I've been getting a lot of flack because I don't be doing a set schedule. But I think because I'm called inconsistent. I think I'm consistent. I consistently post a ton of content. It's just not the same day and the same time. Vanessa, so when you gift a channel membership, you don't know who you're gifting it to? Like, how does that work? How does that work? Let me see. And I was holding off because I can't stand teenagers, and I was told that Mads follows teens, but I do love French horror, and I heard it is really good. So I'm excited, and I really hope I love it. Like, I mean, any movie I go into, I really hope to like it, but I'm really hoping I love Mads, because I can't rest no time soon, child. Like, literally, I am going to be so dead. I move Thursday, and then I have the live with Julie B Thursday. And I am likely going to stay up super late today and tomorrow. Because, you know, movers don't play. When the movers come here, everything needs to be packed, ready. And I'm not going to be able to do anything before the movers come because I have to work. I have to sign my lease. I can't do nothing before the movers come. So I have to have everything. I ain't got no time to rest. And From is my best performing content right now. So I cannot miss out on From content this week. So I'm gonna just be dead. You know, I'm gonna have to just be dead. I'm gonna be the Walking Dead this week. Like, I just who is a horror villain you know you can fight? Jill from Scream. I don't have a clue how that little toothpick was supposed to be a damn ghost face. I cannot know. Jill. Nikki, great stream yesterday. Thank you, Cal. If y'all missed it, the KillerCon Halloween episode, you can catch it on the replay. And for members on the Die Hard tier, remember, members on the Die Hard tier get access to the KillerCon after party. And this is the second KillerCon after party. And it was me and my mother having, y'all know, the original Horror Girly. We had a really great conversation about the evolution of slashers. It's really good. Unbiased. It's really good. Let's see what else we got going on. What did you think of that movie Fall, about the two women who climb the tower? I fucking hated that movie. Spoiler alert if you have not seen Fall, because I'm going to just spoil it right now. So I don't know, mute for like 60 seconds. Fall is basically 47 meters down, but it's up. Basically, two dumbass white girls go climb like a 1,000-foot radio tower in the middle of nowhere and don't tell nobody where they're going, what they're doing, none of that. And they end up getting stuck up there. I was honestly annoyed. I thought they were dumb as hell. I was bored. And I cannot stand like a dream fake out hallucination as like I can't stand that. I hated that movie. I like 47 meters down though. But yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it though, Equalizer, but I hated it. And if I'm not mistaken, I rewatched it after some time passed to see if I would feel different, and I didn't even finish it. I didn't feel different. I didn't feel different. Cause I don't know that movie ain't make no sense. That movie ain't make no damn sense. And like I know. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did. I really am. Because I wish I liked it. I didn't want to not like it. I was extremely aggravated. And it's somewhere in the archive from whenever I saw it. Because I went live at the time. It was a time when I used to go live and like talk about multiple movies. Like my first year on YouTube. And somewhere in one of them old lost lives, somewhere on the early days of my channel, was me really breaking down and talking about Fall. I hated that movie. Oh, Darfelina liked it too. What movies have you liked lately besides Oddity, The Substance, and Terrifier 3? Well, I didn't really like Terrifier 3. Are we only talking about new movies? What new movies have I liked? Let me see. Let me pull up my letterbox. What new? Off the top of my head, I can't really. Let me see. What have I liked that was a new release? Oh, a new release that I liked is a movie called The Silent Hour with, I think his name is Joel Kinnaman, and Mekhi Phifer. It's a action cop movie where Joel Kinnaman and his buddy go to question a witness to a murder, and she's deaf. And the people who she witnessed murder, she's living in like a building where they're being evicted. So it's not very many tenants left. So the killers come to take her out because she's the witness. So we have to survive in the building with the deaf girl. And guess what? The cop is deaf too. So the cop and the witness are both deaf, and they're trying to survive in the building and not get killed. Predictable movie, but it was really good. Like I was very pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed it. What other new movie have I seen that I liked? Yeah, I wouldn't say I liked Terrifier 3. I gave that a 2 out of 5. What new release did I like? I got a lot that I'm scrolling by a lot that I didn't like. Oh, a 2024 release that I liked is like a horror thriller called Last Straw, which is about a girl working the late night shift at a diner by herself, and she gets attacked by like a group of mass killers who like come up and to attack her at the diner. I thought that was really good. I probably had a lot more fun with that movie than I should, but yeah, I really liked that. Last Straw. Another new release. Jesus, it's a lot that I don't like. Oh my God. I did like Blink Twice. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 because it was a lot of issues, but overall, I like Blink Twice. What else did I like? Oh, wait, you know what? I think I have. Did I make a little list of my favorites from this year? I think I did. My notepad on my phone is so ridiculous. Like I literally notepad so much stuff because my memory is bad. But then I have a hard time finding each memory in the notepad because I don't know what I save it as. I could have sworn Okay, yes, I did. Okay, my favorites: Alien Romulus, Long Legs, Trap. Those are some of my favorites from this year. Is there anything else? Nothing has blown me away like Oddity though. Like, y'all probably sick of me talking about Oddity. But I mean, it has my heart. That movie has my heart. Like nothing has blown me away like Oddity this year. Um, yeah, I see a lot of disappointments for 2024. Not really much that I loved. But I would absolutely recommend Last Straw and what was the one with the deaf girl? What was the Silent Hour? I haven't really heard anyone talk about Last Straw or the Silent Hour. I would absolutely recommend y'all check that out. Now, check out the Silent Hour if you're like that action cop subgenre type of fan. It's not horror in the slightest. So if you're just like a horror fan, just check out Last Straw. And Last Straw and the Silent Hour are predictable, but predictable doesn't ruin a movie for me if it like what's happening is engaging enough and entertaining enough. So even though I could really call where it was going to go, I was having fun along the way. So I really like both of those movies. So your year-end top 10 will just be like top 2. I mean, and you know what? It's I feel like it's literally about to be November, and I have not been blown away because I'm gonna be honest. When did I put this? Okay, my September 27th is when I did my added these movies for my top 10. September. I have gone back and rewatched Alien Romulus. I don't think that's going to be on my top 10 best. Maybe like a top 15, but I have a lot of issues with Romulus. So that might get moved from best. The Substance and Oddity are the strong stays. Trap is a bad movie, but I love that movie. But I don't know if I can have a movie that's structurally bad on my top best. Nobody probably won't listen to me no more. But I had a lot of fun with that movie. But I'm really hoping that I get blown away by a lot of movies in this last half of the year. We have a lot of movies still to come. And there are a lot of 2024 movies I just haven't seen yet. So, but this year started off real bad. This year, I feel like I did not like any movie this year. I want to say until Long Legs. Like, it was like June when I finally liked the movie this year. This year started off real rough. But I'm super excited. Like, a lot of you guys are new to my channel, so I think this is going to be my first year-end content that you guys experience. So I do my year-end content every year. And it's going to be really fun this year because I'm going to do the same year-end content I always do for the first 2 years on YouTube. But I also have some new year-end stuff that I'm going to add this year. It's going to be really fun. So I'm super excited, and I'm super excited for y'all to experience it because a lot of y'all are new here. So I can't wait. I'm really excited. Nikki, do you like the movie Sick? Is that a new 2024 movie? Let me see. What's Sick? It ain't ringing no bells for me. Oh, that's the slasher from last year about the girls who go to the cabin. I think I reviewed that on my channel, and I think it was mixed. First of all, I don't like the movies that use the pandemic. I really don't like that. And we had a whole slew of horror movies that did that. I really didn't like that part of it. But I think there were some stuff in Sick that I did like. I think overall I gave it a favorable review, but it was a mixed bag. if that's the sick you're talking about, the sick from like last year or the year before last, where it was about the pandemic and COVID and the girl that was wearing a mask and they went to the secluded cabin, if that's the one you're talking about. Hey, Candy loves to talk TV. Thank you for being here in the chat. Let me see. Abigail was fire watched twice. First time was last week. I did not really care for Abigail. I can't remember. Did I do a review for Abigail? Okay. One of the biggest issues that I had with Abigail was I completely understand that even though I didn't watch the preview tells you that the girl is a vampire. So even though I didn't watch the preview, I already knew that. And I was very annoyed that the movie plays as a whodunit with the characters. I think it is so ridiculous to have the characters in a whodunit when the audience knows. It makes the conversation kind of redundant. Like when they were suspecting each other and trying to figure, I was like, what's the freaking point of this? Like, we know it's the little girl. I personally think the movie could have, for my enjoyment, because obviously everybody else loves it, I think the movie could have benefited from the barbarian type of marketing where you didn't really know what you were going into. I would have liked if while the characters were trying to figure out what was going on and who did it, when like somebody popped up dead, I would have liked to be in right along with the characters of wondering like, well, wait, who would have did this? And when Abigail is in there, like, you know, putting on a show, like she's just a little girl, I would have liked to be like, wait a minute, is something up with this little girl? Like, I wish I could have, like, I would have liked more so to not have known that. And then just the movie in general, I really didn't care nothing about the characters. Dan Stevens was a standout. The black guy died before he could even do anything to leave any type of mark. I liked the ballerina angle, but I really didn't like nobody but Dan Stevens. And then, spoiler alert for anybody who has not seen Abigail, when Dan Stevens' character at the end just is suddenly evil and go to kill Melissa Barrera, like, it just wasn't adding up for me. I just wasn't. And then the end, when Abigail's dad comes up, they made it so dramatic just for that to be the reveal. And I'm thinking they about to have like Nicolas Cage as Dracula coming up in there. I'm like, this the reveal? This her daddy? This is underwhelming. I was, and I get everybody was like, oh, it was such a fun movie. I really wasn't having a lot of fun. I think the most fun I had was when Abigail turns the blonde chick into a vampire and it's like using her like a puppet, and the blonde chick is doing some type of like ballerina dance when she finna kill somebody. I thought that was really fun. Like, I like the ballerina stuff, but I didn't have a lot of fun with that movie. It really didn't work for me. None of the characters worked for me. Rest in peace to Angus Cloud. Really didn't care for his character. My guy that I love, who played on my show The Strain, who played the big idiot, really didn't care for his character. Like, why did he have to be an idiot? Like, I didn't understand that. It didn't work for me. But yeah, I did not have a lot of fun with Abigail. And I love vampires. I love anything vampires. But and I'm not a big fan of comedy horror. Like, that's not my ministry. But it didn't work. And then Melissa Barrera character made me mad. Because when she finally escapes and she go in that car and sit there, and I think she pulled out a piece of candy. I'm like, bitch, if you don't drive away, like, if you don't, like, if I done survived that, I can eat the candy at the red light. Like, I wanted her to just like make haste and get out of there. But that's nitpicky. I know, but it really irked me. Like, she didn't get out of there. Her was the best part of Abigail. Are you talking about the blonde girl what was that blonde girl name that I was just talking about? And I really didn't care for Melissa Barrera's character. And I like Melissa Barrera, but nothing about her character. And then that's something else I don't like. That's the issue I had with Ellie and Romulus. I don't like going into a movie and it's extremely obvious who the final girl is going to be. And I get it. Melissa Barrera is a name. Like, you're going to go in knowing But I don't like that. And there was nothing special or stand out about her character. I did not like her character, but I didn't like her character, if that makes sense. Like there was nothing for me to not like, but there was nothing for me to particularly like. Like I didn't get much personality. I didn't get much charisma. There was really nothing about her character. And then it was very on the nose of her character. Like eating all the candy. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. The father was best part of Abigail. I would say he was the worst part. And maybe it was the way I felt they built up the dad. Like even the scene and the way it's shot when the dad comes to the door, I was just like thinking like, oh, is it finna be Spike? Like they made me feel like they was really finna have like a cameo or something. It didn't work. It didn't work for me. I just, and I wouldn't say Nikki didn't like Abigail. Now I know why this was shade jumping you last night. I wouldn't say I didn't like it. Like it was fine. I did not like it, but it was a lot that I didn't like. Like it was fine. I saw it once and I have no desire to ever see it again. But I didn't. It wasn't Daddy's Head or Night Swim or Something in the Water. Like it wasn't movies that I actively hated. Oh, absolutely. Dan Stevens don't know how to not be amazing. I completely agree. That's another movie I need to see that has been on my watch list for ages. Is what do you call it? What is that movie? The Guest. The Guest. I really want to see The Guest. It has been on my watch list for ages, and I still haven't seen it. Candyman, fine. I'm not running from. Are we talking about Tony Todd? Like, which Candyman are we talking about? Tony Todd is the only Candyman I acknowledge. I think you missed it. There was groundwork laid to why he was addicted to power, is how he got in a situation to begin. Yeah, I get that because he was he was the cop character, but I still feel like it came out of nowhere. Like, okay, be a vampire, get power, but why you gotta kill Melissa Barrera? What she got to do with anything? Like, I don't know. It didn't work for me. Like, I get when he turned and then he turned on damn, I forgot old boy name. Old boy who turns him. But him fighting Melissa Barrera and then it didn't make sense to me that he's a new vampire. He's a newborn. And Abigail needed Melissa Barrera character's help to fight him. Bitch, you a vampire. Like why do you need a human's help? Like I don't know. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. And it could be stuff I'm forgetting, but yeah, it didn't work for me. It didn't work. And okay, that was the movie. That was The Sick. Okay. Tell us which 10 movies you hated the most at the end of the year. Oh, yeah, it's and now this is going to be the hardest year for me to make a top 10 because I've so far hated about 30. I have no clue how I'm going to narrow that down to 10. That is going to be quite the feat. Literally. It's Did you like Uglies? I did not watch Uglies because I typically don't watch anything with teenagers. Like it has to really have something that makes me want to sit through teenagers. And yeah. And there's nothing about Uglies that appeals to me. Like, is anybody getting killed? Like, I was here for Divergent. Divergent movies was good. And what was the movies where the kids started off on that island? Oh, it was Divergent, and it was like a bunch of boys like on an island, and then all of a sudden a girl came. What the hell was those movies called? Now I was there for them little preteen movies. Them movies were good, but see, it gotta have. First of all, I need people to be dying. Like y'all know, I'm morbid. I need people to be dying in the movies I need people to be getting killed. What is the damn movie? No, not The Wilds. Oh God, what was those movies called? I feel like it's on the tip of my. Jesus, what were those movies called? It was Divergent and because Divergent and Maze Runner. I think both of them were trilogies. I was so here. Now, Maze Runner trilogy is good. Divergent, they started to wane in the quality, but I was still here. Like, if I have to sit through teens or preteens, it gotta be like something real compelling for me. Like, especially now, Maze Runner was superior to Divergent. But Maze Runner was good as hell. Oh my God. But Uglies ain't really, because if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, Uglies is about a future where like plastic surgery is mandatory. Like, are they killing anybody? Like if they killing people, maybe I would jump in. But it didn't seem like my cup of tea, so I didn't watch it. No, Daddy's Head is a new horror movie that I thought was literally the worst thing I saw this year. Like, absolutely freaking terrible. They really 30 playing. Well, really, when I say I don't like teens, I mean like teen characters. So even if they're not teens in real life, I just mean teen characters. But yeah, they can be 30 in real life, but they're gonna be playing teen characters. And teen characters, I don't have time for the angsty teen. I don't have time for the obnoxious. Like I get irked. I get real irked. This was such a great year for horror, and you hated it all. I hate that for you. This is a great year for horror. But it's so crazy because I was talking to my mom and I was like, why do we even like horror? Because I feel like we've seen more bad horror than good. And she said, yeah. She was like, there have been blocks of time where we literally have watched nothing but bad horror movies, like movies that I thought were bad. That's how I spent like the first 6 months of this year. I hated everything for like the first 6 months of this year. And it was either I hated it or it was like, all right. Like something was salvageable, but it wasn't good. The first like 6 months of this year. But that is literally my whole life when it comes to horror. And sometimes I'll be like, why is this even my favorite genre when I have to sit through so much that I really don't like? But because when it's good, it's fucking good. And I'd rather watch a bad horror any day than like a good other genre movie outside of action, because action is my second favorite. But I rather watch, like, if you tell me Uglies is like a 5-star best thing in the world, I'd literally rather watch a bad horror movie than to watch that. Like, I don't know if that even makes sense, but I love horror. Even if it's bad, I still rather be watching horror. But yeah, I think this year is a great year for horror. I think we got some really groundbreaking horror. And I personally don't agree when people are like, Hollywood is out of ideas and there's no original ideas. We get original ideas in horror for me every year. Like, there's some group of horror movies every year that is knocking it out of the park. And I think this year in particular, we definitely got some really great, I think we got some iconic horror this year, to the point that in 10 years, movies from this year are going to be a part of conversations of like best horror ever. Best horror open. I think this year was so iconic for horror openings. Like, I was just like, damn, we getting some real like iconic horror opening sequences in for 2024. But yeah, the first 6 months was rough. The first 6 months was rough. I didn't like anything. I was like, what the f is going on? And I've never been that person who feeds into like horror that comes out in January and stuff is always bad. It's so many January horror releases that I like. But baby, this year, yeah, this year was rough. I hate that for me too, Darfelina. I hate that for me too. I've never heard of The Wilds, but I was talking about Maze Runner. Yes, Maze Runner. I need to rewatch those movies now that y'all done put it in my head. I ain't got time to rewatch Maze Runner. Don't let me get that out my head. I got other stuff to worry about. I get that, but how could you let a newborn vampire drain you? That don't make no sense. I don't think she was weaker because she was a kid. Like, at least in the history of the rules of vampires, if you're a child, you still have vampire strength. Like, I done see child vampires knocking adult vampires' asses out. Like, I'm so tired of ghost horror. You know what? I know a lot of people aren't fans of like paranormal horror, religious horror, like exorcist type horror. That's some of my favorite. I'm gonna be honest. Like stuff like The Conjuring, like stuff about exorcism, horror, ghost haunting, some of my favorite. I will never get sick of it, but I get it. And a lot of people are sick of it. A lot of people are over it. A lot of people feel like they're always run of the mill, which they are, but I still enjoy them. I still enjoy them. You know what? It can be fun watching bad horror movies. It can be. But that's the so bad they're good horror movies. I feel like this year was just bad horror movie because I love a so bad it's good horror movie. I love a so bad it's good horror movie. Absolutely. I did a video either earlier this year or last year of my top 10 guilty pleasure horror movies. I love a bad horror movie. Love it. But it needs to be a so bad it's good. Like I feel like ultimately for me, movies are supposed to be entertaining. Like period. I should be enjoying the movie. It should be entertaining. So as long as I can enjoy it and have fun, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Like I love like a B movie bad action movie, and I love like a B movie bad horror movie. Like there's nothing better. But when I was talking about sitting through bad horror, I meant bad. Bad. Most so-called elevator horror is trash in my opinion. You know what? Don't let the horror enthusiasts hear you say that. I completely agree. I completely agree. I'm really not a fan of any of it. I think the only thing that's considered elevated horror that I like, that I actually saw for the first time this year and was pleasantly surprised, was that movie The Witch. Now it was a rough start because I had to read the hell out of them subtitles. I could not understand what the hell the people were saying. But as the movie progressed, I thought the movie was actually really good. I was very pleasantly surprised. But all the movies that people go up for, I'm It Follows, hated that movie. Hereditary, I didn't even finish that movie because I saw Hereditary for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. The guy had to take his little sister to the party and then they drove home and I was done. I cut it off. I was so bored. I couldn't do it. Midsummer. Oh my God. That girlfriend got on my damn nerve. I understood why the friends didn't like her. She was annoying me to no end. She was on my nerves. But I think I saw it. I didn't even make it to the festival with Midsummer. I was so over it. I didn't even make it to the festival. Because y'all know I will cut some off real quick. What's some more of those? I either try to watch it and don't like it, or I just don't watch it. And I'm especially not a fan of like the horror movies of like, oh, it's about trauma. No, they're talking about grief. Bitch, I need somebody to die. Like, I don't want to see something that's like, oh, but they're talking about loss. And I don't give a shit. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a simple, dumbed down audience, but I'm not here for that. Like I'm not. I'm sorry. I always think of Scream 5 when Jenna Ortega has her Ghostface call and she's talking about the Babadook or whatever. And I think Ghostface is like, I'm mad. I can't remember what he says exactly, but pretty much my sentiments of like, those movies are boring. Like, he was not, I was with Ghostface. Like, that's not my type of horror. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's a good thing about horror, though. It's a flavor for everybody. But yeah, I'm not here. I'm not here. I want them to make more monster horror movies, and I absolutely want more monster horror. I am a creature feature girly, and we do not get enough of them. And you would love the movie Love and Monsters. Now, I got love in the title. I don't know if that's for me. Let me look it up. I'm not a romance girl. I don't want that with no love, but let me see. Is it like a twisted, psychotic love? Love and 2020. See, look, yeah. This look a little too happy. I'm sorry, y'all probably can't even see that. This look, hey, that's my kid from Maze Runner. This look a little too happy. This don't look dark enough for me. Teen fantasy, teen comedy, quest. Nah, none of them subgenres sound like anything for me. 7 years after he survived the monster apocalypse, lovably hapless. Yeah, these are trigger words. None of these descriptors are working for me. Lovably hapless Joe leaves his cozy underground bunker behind on a quest to reunite with his high school. Yeah, this don't sound like my taste, baby. This don't sound like my taste. It got a 6.9 out of 10 though on IMDb. And I do like that kid from Maze. Hey, Michael Rooker is in here. I might be persuaded to watch this. I like Michael Rooker. And I love my kid from Maze Runner. But this don't, and it's PG-13. This don't sound like my cup of tea. Now, I do like PG-13 horror. I'm not one of those people who feel like PG-13 horror is trash. But this a teen comedy, quest, adventure, PG-13, lovable, hapless Joe looking for his high school sweet. This don't sound like nothing. Are people going to be dying? Will there be gore? Just tell me that. Are people going to be dying and will there be gore? If so, I might check it out for that and Michael Rooker. But yeah, that don't sound like anything that's up my alley. Y'all, I'm morbid. I need it to either be dark and bleak and depressive and make me want to jump off a bridge, or I need there to be murder and mayhem and blood and guts. Outside of that, I'm hard pressed to want to show up for it. Yeah, The Witch was surprisingly good. It's one of those one and done. Like, I probably will never rewatch it, but I was very pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh, okay, they cooking with this one. Oh, I hated It Follows. I haven't watched It Follows since it came out, but I freaking hated that movie. And I did want to try to rewatch it to see if I would feel differently. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I turned it on and that opening scene always gets on my nerve and I just cut it off. I don't like that movie. And the thing, I barely remember it, but I do remember being hella aggravated throughout the movie because if anyone's not familiar, It Follows is a horror where you have sex with somebody and you get like cursed. So you got to try to find somebody to have sex with and pass the curse. The girl has the curse and this one guy is upset because she won't have sex with him. I was so freaking annoyed. Like, you dumb motherfucker. You will get cursed, you idiot. Like, oh my, yeah, I couldn't stand that movie. And that opening scene get on my last nerve. Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, y'all not alone. They are widely praised and widely loved. It Follows and Hereditary. I will never forget getting on the internet and being like, wait a minute, people love It Follows? Like, I hated that movie. I hated it. It Follows was silly, but I'm glad Michael Monroe is thriving. Oh my God, don't get me started. That's another one of my unpopular opinions. I don't like Michael Monroe. I'm not even finna get into that. I say enough unpopular opinions. I'm not even finna go down that road. Okay. People are gonna get killed. Is there any gore? I was gonna ask about Evil Dead Rise, but it's a 2023 movie. I loved Evil Dead Rise. I did a review for that last year. Um Y'all always making me say something really unpopular. I'm not a fan of the original Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2, none of them. I do not like. I actively do not like those movies. And it's changed with time. Evil Dead was actually the first horror movie I ever saw, or that I can remember ever seeing when I was like 3 or 4. And I used to love Evil Dead. But throughout the years, because as a kid, I really would watch anything. But as I like developed like my own like taste in horror, I absolutely really, really do not like comedy horror. And I do not like how slapstick those movies are. I'm much more like the 2013, like the more darker toned Evil Dead is more my speed and more my taste. And even like the Evil Dead Rise, where it's like a mix of like the darker but has some comedic stuff in there, like that is more so my speed. But just the slapstick of the original, and then why they made that girl in the woods with that tree, like why they made that so sexual, like that was just I actually had Evil Dead on in the background when I was packing earlier today. Because you know, when you watch a movie on Tubi, it'll just auto play the next movie, and it just started playing the Evil Dead. And the way they made that girl in the woods so sexual with that, like I was like, why she sound like this? Like, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just not much of a fan of those movies. But I love Evil Dead 2013, and I like Evil Dead Rise. Would you count Eve's Bayou as horror? I absolutely would. I used to like Eve's Bayou. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, but I would absolutely count it as horror. I'm not really the genre semantics police. Like I think horror is a huge umbrella, and it fits a lot under there. And a lot of movies have a lot of elements from different multiple genres. And I think one element of Eve's Bayou is absolutely horror. I like elevator horror sometimes because I enjoy a good plot with my horror, like Midsommar, but I also really enjoy senseless violence like Terrifier. I like senseless, mindless gore, and I also like a really good story. But Midsommar is not up my. That's not what I think of like. Not saying it's not a good story, but it's just not my. That girl didn't get on y'all nerves. I couldn't stand that girl, and I'm the girlfriend. Oh my god, I could not stand her. I could not stand her. But I'm also not the biggest fan of movies that are kind of slowly paced, as I would call it. Like, I don't want to sit through a ton of dialogue because I'm just be like, baby, when somebody gonna die? How far into Midsommar before somebody dies? Before we get a kill scene? I mean, I ain't even make it to the damn festival or whatever. But how if I gotta go an hour before somebody die, I'm gonna be annoyed. I need a cold open that. If you're gonna give me like a real character driven, like I'm just following the story, at least give me a cold open. Like give me some type of blood. I can't stand sitting through a movie and I'll be like, damn, it's an hour and ain't nobody died yet. I will never ever forget my first experience watching The Conjuring. And it was about the third act, and I had just realized. I turned and I said, ain't nobody died yet. I couldn't believe it because that's literally typically like my biggest like annoyance with the horror movie. Like, man, when's somebody gonna die? I was so engaged with The Conjuring and enjoying that movie when I first saw it that it didn't even dawn on me until we got to the third act that nobody had been killed. I was like, wait a minute. Because I can't stand, I'm not gonna sit through an hour of a horror and ain't nobody dead yet. You gotta give me some blood. I need some blood, man. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I guess I'm morbid. I hope you're. Oh, yo, I'm not. It's almost 2 hours. I'm not supposed to still be here. This was supposed to be a quick check-in. I still got to record my front video, and I still need to finish packing. Oh my Lord Jesus. Okay. I. When I start running my mouth about horror, I just be losing. Losing track. You would like The Devil Day in the Elevator. That's the M. Night Shyamalan written but not directed. I love that movie. I like Devil. You might just like slashers because people die in. I don't just like slashers, but I just need blood. But thank you guys so much for being here for our check-in live. Shout out to everybody who is here. Like I started this live with, the video, the channel is on the up. Everything is up. Record number of new subs on the channel this last month. Record like high on the watch hours, my total views for the last month, the engagement on the channel for the last month. Everything has been going really well for the channel. I'm very proud and happy with my latest content that I have been putting out. And hopefully I can get Killer Khan to get on board and be successful like everything else with the channel and start going well, because I'm very, very just in a great place when it comes to my channel, when it comes to the channel engagement and how everything is going on the channel. Everything is up. It's all the way up. So hopefully with the new changes coming that I announced for Killer Khan, that will steadily, rise with everything else. But shout out to everybody who are new to the channel, new subs. Shout out to everybody who has been here. Thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting the channel. Please make sure you continue to like, comment, do all the things, all the engagement. And thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. And consider a channel membership. Thank you.
One of us, a loving cop. We accept a one of us.
Goober gobble.
We accept her. Google gobble. One of us. Google gobble.
They're going to make you one of them.